Hey everybody, it's Paige Evans. Thanks for joining me today here on my YouTube channel. I have a new process video to share with you, making chevrons. So again, this is a layout that I like to create with each of my collections. I'm starting with paper number 7 and trimming off that barcode strip and save it because we're going to use it a little bit later. Next, I am using my paper trimmer to cut each of the pattern squares into their individual squares. So I've trimmed horizontally and now I'm trimming them out individually. And so with every collection, I love to create chevrons with this pattern paper because it always yields different results. And even though it's the same technique, it just looks different and fun, and it's easy to do. This layout took 22 minutes to create from start to finish. So I'm grabbing 3 squares at a time and cutting them in half to create triangles, and I'll use one set of the triangles and use the other set on a different layout. For the background, I'm using paper 18, and you can discard or keep and use on a different project the barcode. And I am using a ruler to measure 3, 6, and 9 inches on the left and right edges. And this will be where I build my chevrons. So now I'm arranging the triangles into kind of a rainbow order. You can do a random order or any other kind of color scheme that you can think of. I wanted to put my triangles into kind of a rainbow order. So I'm starting with the whites with the colors on top, followed by the pinks and kind of the orangey pinks, followed by the yellows and the greens, and finishing up with the blues and purples. So again, you can do this randomly, or you can follow along or create your own. This is why it looks different every time. And I haven't glued them down yet because I tend to change my mind about where I want them to go. So once I like the placement, then I'll go ahead and adhere them down. I'm going to use foam squares to add dimension so you can really appreciate the handmade nature of this layout. You can see the individual triangles, and I'm not using a ruler or anything except for when I used it to measure the increments on the sides. And I like having it a little bit wonky, you know? We're not perfect, so I love those little imperfections. For a little bit of interest, I'm splashing watered down white acrylic paint on top. I just love the little pop of contrast it adds. Printed 2 photos of Jane to 3 by 4 inches, and I trimmed them out leaving a white border, and I'm going to overlap them slightly here on the right side. Covers up most of the green chevron part. There isn't any green in the photos, so that's okay. I'm using the floral foam thickers from my Bloom Street collection. Don't know if I've said that yet. I'm using my Bloom Street collection with pink paisley to create this entire layout. And I'm creating the title over the chevron, so switching up the angles to say, "Such a cute girl." Next, I want to add a little bit of character to the top and bottom edge, so I'm tearing it a little bit up here on the top right and the bottom left, and here is where that piece of paper, the barcode from the pattern paper squares, comes in handy. So I'm replacing the part or the area that I tore and backing it with that barcode strip. So it's a fun way to not waste those barcode strips. Going to do a little bit of embellishing with the Bloom Street ephemera die cuts, doing the tone-on-tone technique. So a pink hummingbird on the pink triangles, a purple hummingbird on the purple triangles, a yellow bee on the yellow triangles. The beautiful bouquet is kind of colorful, but I placed it over this kind of bluish greenish area, and then adhering them in place using foam squares and just regular double-sided tape. I think that's all I want to add as far as embellishments. So now I'm going to write my journaling with a blue pen, again following the angles of the chevron. So in between the second and third row, just going to write my journaling about these photos. And then I decided to add one more thing, puffy word sticker that says joy, pink letters over these pink triangles. And that's it. This layout came together, like I said, in 22 minutes. Easy peasy, and I have a fun memory document. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you again in my next video. Have a great day.